So now we're in the final stage of the framework, which is accountability. And accountability is probably the best way to raise your standard, to change. Not only to change, but to also make the change stick. And there are two sides to accountability. First one, accountability is really me holding you or somebody holding you accountable to your words, to your goals that you're trying to achieve. And then the second part of accountability is actually responsibility, to where you are responsible to take the actions necessary without anyone holding you accountable. And it's the best way to actually raise your standards, right? I learned from Tony Robbins. If you want to change your life, you need to raise your standards. And the only way or the best way to really raise your standards is to have somebody hold you accountable to those standards that you're trying to set. For example, your parents was the first to hold you accountable to the things that you're supposed to do. Brushing your teeth, wake up on time, making your bed, put the rubbish in the bin, say please, say thank you, etc., etc. Your parents was the first to actually install accountability in you, to the point now where you do these things without anyone holding you accountable. You're responsible to do these things now without anyone holding you accountable, because now you're a responsible person. And that's the heart of accountability. If you look at all the results you have in your life, accountability is weaved into every single one of them. And that's how I come in as a coach. I'm holding you accountable to the things that you are supposed to do to lose weight, the goals that you want to accomplish, the thing that you say you want to accomplish. I'm holding you accountable to those standards so you can make the change happen. For example, here's how I hold somebody accountable in my weight loss coaching program. I'm holding you accountable tactically to the things that you need to do to raise the standards, to lose the weight, to accomplish the goal that you're trying to accomplish. So I'm telling you, this is where you are and this is where you need to be. So there are some skills, there's some habits, there's some traits, there's some principles that you need to learn and implement to be able to lose weight, to be able to raise that standards so you can make that change happen. For example, you have to clear communication, be focused, sticking to the plan, showing up to coaching sessions on time, be responsible for the things that you can control, right? Be consistent rather than be perfect. Like I said, controlling the things that you say you can control, committed to your own words, right? I'm holding you accountable to those things that will make the change stick. So once the program is finished and you're off on your own, you're able to take responsibility for the things that you can control without me holding you accountable. And I think that's the beauty of accountability. Like I said earlier, that every success you see you have in your life, accountability is weaved into every aspect of your success. And I think it's the number one thing really that will get people to raise their standards and do the things required to actually lose weight. And I know a lot of people have beliefs about accountability. I don't want anyone to hold me accountable. I am old enough. I don't want no one to tell me what to eat, what exercise to do, what time to go to bed, how much water I should drink. All of these beliefs that we have in our heads that no one should hold us accountable. But here's what I want you to understand. You could have the best weight loss plan, you could have the best diet, you could have the best exercise program, you could have the best gym, you could have the best equipment, you could have the gym in your house. If you don't have accountability or somebody holding you accountability to do the things required to lose weight, that plan will always fail. So it's my belief that any plan or any plan that trying to accomplish a certain goals, if that plan doesn't have accountability inside of it, it will always fail. Here's the truth. There's a line in the sand that separates you now from where you want to go. And if you don't raise your standards, you won't get over that line to accomplish what you say you want to achieve. And the best way to do that is to have somebody holding you accountable. Have somebody who is not wrapped up in your story, who's not wrapped up in your emotion, who's looking at your situation, your circumstances with a different eyeball, with a different perspective, a different way of seeing the problem, the challenge that you're facing. And a lot of times it's something that we miss, right? The reason why I'm here is because I've got somebody holding me accountable to a new level, to a new standards, raise my standards to what's required to be able to be a successful coach, to be able to run a successful business. If I don't have somebody holding me accountable, I'll just wallowing my own emotions, my own story, and telling myself, you know, I can't do this, I can't do this. But once I get somebody from the outside world having a look at my situation and said, you know what, they're not wrapped up in my story. They're looking at my situation with a different lens, from a different perspective. And it really what gets me to take action. And it will get you to do the same. I promise you. So I want to encourage you. You need to have somebody in your corner holding you accountable, giving you the support you need to be able to overcome some of the obstacles. Because one of the big challenges in weight loss is we don't have anyone supporting us. And if you don't have somebody supporting you when life get tough, and it will, you will quit. And this is why I think accountability is so important, right? Because accountability gets you to take action, get you to overcome these things that you think you can overcome, or these challenges that you think you can't break, or these habits that we can't. Oh, I love drinking the beer. I love having the sweets. I love having the chocolate. These habits that we think they are unbreakable. I promise you, you get somebody holding you accountable or to your own words or the goals that you want to achieve, holding you accountable to what you're responsible for, right? You're responsible for eating the food. You're responsible for going to bed on time. Those are the things that are in your control. And if I can hold you accountable to those things that are in your control, then weight loss will be pretty much easier. But you're not making circumstances control your life. You are being the controller of your life. And that's what accountability will help you to do. So that's the final part of the framework, accountability. So let's just quickly recap. The first part of the framework is nutrition, right? We know that the number one thing, we have to look at what we're eating. Because if we don't fix our nutrition, nothing else will work, right? Everything else you try will fail. So the first thing you need to do is fix your nutrition. The second part of the framework is exercise, right? And we don't want to use exercise to beat ourselves up to lose weight. We want to use exercise to maintain health, to maintain a healthy body. And we want to exercise, or we want to do exercise so we can see ourselves doing probably for the rest of our lives, right? There's no point we starting something now and come 3 or 4 months, we just can't really sustain it. And I think that's a big thing about exercise. We have to use exercise to maintain health rather than beating ourselves up to lose weight, because it's not fun. The third part is accountable. Being accountable, right? Somebody holding you accountable so you can learn the art of self-accountable. So you're now responsible to take the necessary actions to lose weight or control the things that are in your control, right? Because a lot of times we focus on circumstances. We can't control circumstances. But guess what? I can control what I eat. I can control how much I exercise. I can control what time I go to bed. All of those things are in my control. And if I can control those things, then weight loss will become a lot easier. And that's what accountability does. It will help you to control the things that are in your control rather than to focus on things that are outside of your control. That's the framework or a sneak peek inside my weight loss coaching program. I promise you, these are the key to weight loss. These are the key to up leveling your health. If you can somehow take these three things and implement them in that order, nutrition, exercise, and accountability, everything will change for you. The game will become a lot easier. You will see a lot of progress if you can implement these three things in that order. So that's the third and final lesson, accountability. So your next step, apply. Take the principles I've just shared with you and apply them. The speed of implementation will dictate how successful you are at actually losing weight and controlling your health. Take action now. If you need more about the work I do, please head over to ryanbrown.com. Everything I do is over there. Or just click on the link below in this video and it will guide you to more.